वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं. Namaskar and welcome to Pradipta's Musings. Today I have come up with a unique video to share my views on a book which I have recently purchased from Amazon portal. The name of the book is AROHAN Ascent with Gita. This is a very wonderful book. It has been authored by Swami Samarpanananda ji, a reputed scholarly monk of the Ramakrishna order, who is a prolific speaker, a reputed author and a very renowned teacher of Hindu scriptures at Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational Research Institute located at Belur Math, Kolkata. Before I proceed to my views about this book, let me speak a few words about the Bhagavad Gita. These are my own musings about the Bhagavad Gita, which I am sharing with you all. Bhagavad Gita is the most important scripture of Hindu religion, and it is not just for memorizing, reciting and chanting, but for application in day-to-day life. Life of any ordinary mortal is like the battle of Kurukshetra, and armed with the knowledge of the Gita, we can fight the battle of life with poise and grace. Gita is an essential scripture for everyone, irrespective of nationality, religion, gender, occupational status, educational qualification, caste, creed, religion. And Gita not only teaches the ideal way of living, but also the art of dying through yoga or union with the Supreme Self. Gita is such an important scripture that Swami Vivekananda used to always carry a copy of the Gita with him wherever he went as a parivrajaka or a wandering monk. Sri Ramakrishna has said that Gita is essential for anyone who wants to learn the art of renunciation. A renunciate is not only a monk who lives in a monastery and has renounced worldly life, but also for householders. A householder should also learn the art of renunciation, which is about detachment. And detachment is not about inaction. Detachment is about getting involved in action, taking the responsibility of all the actions, but not clinging to the fruits of actions. This is detachment. As a devotee of the universal ideal of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, I personally feel that the valuable knowledge of Gita is the essence of Vedanta, and Gita is essential for everyone to read. Gita starts with Vishada Yoga, or state of despair and delusion of Arjuna, and in each one of us there is one Arjuna who gives up rightful action in the face of crisis and plunges into deep tamas or drudgery or inertia, which arises out of confusion and delusion. And if we can retain in us the ideal discipleship of Arjuna, then we can listen to the voice of Sri Krishna within us through the Gita, the eternal song of God. And we can resort to action using our intellect and power of discrimination, even in the face of gravest crisis. God is not any external imaginary being, but it is our own real nature, the supreme state of our own being, the highest self which is residing within us, but which is overshadowed due to our ignorance by the small self, and this illusion is created by Maya. Maya is illusion of samsara, which veils the supreme I and makes the small selfish I more prominent. Now, after this brief introduction, I will share my humble views with everyone who is watching this video on the recently released book AROHAN Ascent with Gita by Samarpan, which I purchased from Amazon portal, and I have gone through the book with great interest. I found it very interesting and easy to read. I am not a scholar of scriptures, but I am very interested to know about the scriptures, and I read Ramakrishna Vivekananda literature and all other related scriptures with great enthusiasm and zeal. This book, AROHAN, which has been authored by the reputed scholarly monk of Belur Math, Swami Samarpanananda ji, is indeed a very interesting and very useful book. I have read a few other books also authored by Swami Samarpanananda ji, and I have shared my views on a couple of books authored by him, which are available on this channel, and interested viewers may please search my channel and watch these reviews. This particular book, AROHAN, it is based on a dialogue between a monk and a young businessman who met by chance at Omkareshwar, the small temple town on the bank of the Narmada river, housing the Jyotirlinga, one of the 12 Jyotirlingas of Lord Shiva. It's a place of pilgrimage for the Hindus. The duo, the monk and the businessman, embarked upon a parikrama or circumambulating walk around the Mandata mountains at Omkareshwar. This was suggested by the monk to the businessman, who was sitting by the river and throwing stones into the river out of a state of delusion and despondency and some sort of anger as well. He was going through some crisis, and the monk who was sitting there noticed the state of mind of the businessman and suggested to him to go for a circumambulatory walk across the Mandata mountains at Omkareshwar. And actually he wanted to help the businessman to come out of this state of mind through which the businessman was going through. The monk had met the businessman in a state of hopelessness, anger and despair. So his aim was to counsel the young businessman in such a way which is suited to the personality and psyche of the young man. The young man was somewhat defiant and rebellious. So the monk unfolded the eternal wisdom of the Gita very gradually during their daily walks in a very easy way, which is understandable and relatable by that young businessman, and also in context with the real life problems and modern age melodies. And this is the subject matter of this book named AROHAN, which is based on the Gita and which is aptly suited for the temperament and thought process of today's younger generation, the young professionals. And this book indeed might be of help for those young promising minds who get lost like rudderless ships in the turmoil and chaos of the ever turbulent ocean of worldly life. Basically, in dearth of a suitable anchor to shake off their delusion and instill some hope and strength in them to face the crisis. So, holy company cannot be substituted, but books can take the place of holy company in absence of holy company. And Arohan is such a book which can be like holy company for young minds. This book, Arohan, it has been aptly named because Arohan means ascent, and this book truly means ascent on the path of righteousness through a practical application in daily life of the immortal teachings of Gita through a combination of all the 4 yogas, namely Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Gita is timeless and relevant in today's dynamic era of action, even more than times before. And this book bears testimony to this fact. Now many youngsters, they don't delve into the scriptures like the Gita. This is because of their ignorance of Sanskrit and also the lack of authentic explanation of the Sanskrit verses in context with the practical application of the same in modern era life. Many youngsters, they think that scriptures are obsolete in today's era, but scriptures like Gita and the other Upanishads are timeless, and I think they are even more relevant in today's times. This book will be of great help to the young minds to unfold the all-time greatest wisdom of the Gita in relevance with their day-to-day life and the problems they face in today's life of wild frenzy and boundless ambitions and other maladies. So all in all, I can say that Ascent with Gita, Arohan, it's a book which is easy to read, very understandable, very much relatable, even for those who are not familiar with the scriptures. In fact, I will suggest this book to my daughter, who as a young software professional is burdened too much with her relentless office work and struggling in the corporate world to cope up and deliver her best. So this is really a very useful book, Arohan Ascent with Gita by Samarpan, and I found it very interesting to read as well. Hardcore philosophy of Gita, it has been made so lucid, interesting to read and relatable by respected Swami Samarpanananda ji in this wonderful book, Arohan. Namaskar. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.